Have you ever finished a conversation where you talked about someone behind their back and instead of feeling good, you just felt empty? Like something inside you got a little worse, not better? Think about this before we go any further. Why is it that the person in your life who gossips the most never actually seems happy? And why is it that on the days when you feel good about yourself, you almost have nothing bad to say about anyone? Hold those two questions, we'll come back to them. Picture a woman, let's call her Sandra. She's smart, funny, and good at her job. Every morning she walks into the office, pours her coffee, and within 10 minutes she's quietly telling someone everything. Who got passed over for the promotion, what someone said in the last meeting, what she heard about the new girl's personal life. People gather around her, they laugh, they lean in. For a few minutes, Sandra feels like she matters. But nobody sees what happens after work. Sandra goes home to a quiet apartment. She scrolls her phone for 2 hours. She doesn't call her sister back. She lies in bed with a strange, heavy feeling she can't explain. The same woman who had everyone's attention that morning feels completely alone by 11 p.m. That right there is the whole story. Most people think gossip is about other people. That's the first thing you need to drop. The common idea is that people who gossip are mean, bored, or just don't know better. Sometimes that's true, but that answer is too easy. It doesn't explain why smart, kind, thoughtful people gossip. It doesn't explain why you've done it too, even on days when you didn't want to. The truth is that gossip is almost never really about the person being talked about. It's a tool, and like any tool, it tells you more about the person using it than the person it's aimed at. Here's what is actually going on. There's a simple idea in psychology that says human beings always want to know where they stand, not just at work or in life, but on the inside. We need to feel like we're okay, like we're not the worst, like we belong somewhere. When that feeling gets shaky, and it does for all of us, we start looking outside for proof that we're fine. And the fastest way to feel a little better about your own life is to find something wrong with someone else's. Their mistake, their bad choice, their problem. Not because you're a bad person, but because your brain is quietly running a program in the background that says, if they're struggling, I must be doing okay. It's not something you plan. It almost just happens. And it works for about 4 minutes. Then the empty feeling comes back, a little deeper than before. That's the trap. Gossip gives you a small hit of relief, but takes more than it gives. Every time you do it, you borrow a little from your own sense of self-worth, and you get paid back less and less each time. Now, here's the thing that might change how you see all of this. The person who gossips the most is not actually telling you about other people. They are showing you, right in that moment, how they feel about themselves. Every story Sandra tells about someone else is really a hidden message about her own pain. The coworker she calls too loud is probably someone Sandra wishes she had the courage to be. The friend she judges for making a bad choice in love is probably someone whose freedom Sandra quietly wishes she had. The gossip is like a mirror she keeps turning away from herself so she never has to look directly at her own reflection. That's hard to hear, because it also means that when you've joined in, something in you was looking for the same relief. Now let's go back to those two questions from the beginning. Why does the person who gossips the most never seem at peace? Because gossip doesn't heal anything. It just keeps you too busy to sit still long enough to find what actually hurts. And why? On your best days, do you have almost nothing bad to say about anyone? Because when you feel good on the inside, you don't need to compare. The background program isn't running anymore. That's the whole thing. Sit with these questions honestly. When was the last time you said something about someone that you wouldn't say to their face? And what were you actually feeling in the hours before that happened? Is there someone in your life whose gossip drains you? Have you ever considered that what you're really watching is someone in pain, not someone with a bad personality? If you imagine a version of yourself who never felt the need to gossip at all, what does that person's inner life look like? What do they have that you haven't fully found yet? Here are 3 things you can actually try, starting today. The next time you feel the urge to bring someone up in a negative way, stop for 10 seconds and ask yourself what you were thinking about just before that urge showed up. Almost every time, you'll find something uncomfortable sitting right underneath it. When someone comes to you with gossip, try saying one kind or neutral thing about the person being talked about. Not to be perfect, just to break the pattern. Watch how quickly the energy in the room changes. Start noticing when you feel most like talking about others and when you feel the least like it. Connect it to how you were feeling that day. You'll see a clear pattern within a week. Gossip is never really about them. It never was. You don't talk about others when you feel full inside. You do it when you feel empty. Every harsh thing you say about someone else is a quiet clue about what you're still working through in yourself. Did you know? Most of us were never told that the way we talk about people when they're not around is actually a reflection of how we're doing on the inside. We were told gossip is rude or unkind, but nobody ever told us it was a cry for help wearing the mask of entertainment. When you understand that, you stop being so angry at the gossips in your life. You start to feel something closer to compassion. And quietly, slowly, you start to see yourself a little more clearly too. I'll leave you with this. If everyone around you stopped gossiping tomorrow, and you had to fill that silence with something real and honest, what would you actually have to say?